All right, this is the third part for the lecture on Riders to the Sea and how to look at it with theory. Uh, One of the other things that Wallace and Shepard talk about is the difference between narrated action and live action. Narrated action has to do with things that are told to the audience, but that the audience doesn't actually get to see. And in this play, what we get to see as the audience is only this room, the inside of the cottage where these women live. We never get to go outside the cottage. So everything that happens outside the cottage is told to us. Um, and Wallace and Shepard point out why so many things are narrated. Well, they are narrated in order to focus audience attention on what the playwright considers most important, what the playwright wants to focus on. And apparently, for this play, it is the women, because those are the ones we get to see the most. And it is the reaction of the women to what the men do and what happens to the men outside the cottage. We have, for example, here Maurya, the mother, and we have a son, Michael, that they think may be drowned at sea, and they need to find out if these clothes, the daughters, Nora and Catherine, need to find out if these clothes belong to Michael. Uh, well, a little later in this play, not too much later, another son comes home, Bartley, and Bartley comes home and he talks about the fact that he wants to out and leave again, but he needs a rope because he's going to take two horses with him, and he needs a rope, or two ponies with him. Um, Bartley needs to go to Connemara, he says, because he's going to do business there and he's going to find out more what's been happening with the storm. Maurya doesn't want him to leave because she has a bad feeling about it, but he leaves anyway. And so what we find out is that she doesn't want him to leave. He leaves. We don't see him outside the cottage at all. Uh, but what we find out in the cottage is that Maurya's been angry with him, and the daughters say, "This is bad luck. You should go after him and bless him on his journey, and that you should take food with him because he forgot to take food." And so Maurya leaves to go after him. But in a short while, she comes back, and she still has the food with her. And so we know that she didn't talk to him. Uh, and then she tells us what happened. Well, she doesn't tell us. She tells her daughters, and we as the audience find out what she saw when she was outside. And she saw a gray pony. And if you look up the footnotes in your addition to the play, you'll realize that in Celtic mythology, the Greek pony is called a puka, and a puka is an omen for death. And that in Celtic mythology, death can come back and claim a companion. And so her vision is that Michael has come back to claim his brother and also take his brother into death. So she's convinced that Bartley also is going to die. And her daughters try and convince her, it can't be Michael, it can't be Michael. And she doesn't understand that it can't be Michael because they have confirmed in a subplot, a parallel action in the play, the daughters have confirmed that the sock that was in the bundle of clothes belongs to Michael. And how have they confirmed this? Well, Nora says that she recognizes it because she recognizes the knitting. She's the one that made the sock. And so this is happening at the same time. Um, Maria's attitude towards death is she is already crying when the play opens, but we find out we don't know if Michael is dead or not, but she's already crying. Um, Bartley leaves, and even before he is on the sea, she's convinced that he's going to die. Um, and then at the end of the play, uh, there is this phrase, the way the play ends, is it says, all we can hope for is a good burial, and we must be satisfied. So there's a strong acceptance of death in this play. Uh, this And the play also ends with the women keening. You should look up keening on YouTube, Irish keening, and then you'll be able to listen to morning music or the type of song, the type of sounds and song that is common at Irish funerals, but also in just Irish homes when people die. Music is a part of that. And at the end of this play, a production would have that type of music. Listen to it. It is beautiful but very, very melancholy. But it is not an angry music. It is not a, it is melancholic but accepting and still beautiful in some way. And that's the atmosphere of this play. And it can be compared to a poem by, for example, Dylan Thomas. And I'm going to talk more about Dylan Thomas in the next clip because I'm so afraid this is going to cut off because then I can't save them. So